Hello and welcome to today's lecture. My title of the lecture is 3 bottoming tails and what you can do when you see these 3 bottoming tails. Now, it's part of the Candlestick Mastery series. Now, what is the objective of today's lecture? So, in this lecture, I want to introduce you to a powerful candlestick pattern. And this candlestick pattern, which is the bottoming tail, can actually help you to spot the end of a sell-off or the end of a downtrend. And I will also be teaching you a trading setup that you can use to profit from the markets. And I hope that by the end of this lecture, you have a better understanding of the markets and eventually hope that you will become a better trader or a technical analyst. So let me introduce you to the bottoming tail, or what some people call a hammer. So what does the bottoming tail pattern looks like? It looks like a hammer, right? Sometimes the pattern can come in red color, sometimes it can come in green color. Now what the red color means is down, green color means up, but they all mean the same thing in the end. It's just that that the red candle, the open is here, the close is here, the lows are the same, the highs are the same. So the red candle, red bottoming tail, it opens higher and close lower, while the green candle, it opens lower and throughout the trading day it goes low, and at the end of the day it closes higher. So both are the same, they tell the same story. It's just that red bottoming tail opens higher and close lower, while the green bottoming tail tells opens lower, close higher. So bottoming tails are actually bullish reversal candlestick patterns. And when you see a bullish reversal candlestick pattern, it means that there's a high probability that the stock is gonna go higher in the next trading bar. Now, this bottoming tail is very special because they tell us that the stock rejects to go lower. You can often find this bottoming tail at important reversal points, especially at the end of a downtrend or end of a move. And they often mark the end of a downward move or a downtrend. And what is special about this bottoming tail is that you can often see a new uptrend start after the presence of the bottoming tail. Now let's look at the structure of the bottoming tail. Here we have the candle in a higher time frame, and here we have a candle in a lower time frame. For example, let's take the higher time frame as a day and the lower time frame as half an hour or an hour, right? So what happened during the trading day is the stock went lower, and then throughout the middle of the day it goes up. So we have a downtrend and then an uptrend, and this is the same as this. Is just that this is a higher time frame, this is a lower time frame. Now, what is a single candlestick in the higher time frame is actually a sell-off and then a move higher in the lower time frame. So in reality, what happened is the stock had a downtrend in the lower time frame. So it had a downtrend here and then started a new uptrend in the lower time frame. So the lower time frame actually hints of a bullishness that is to come. Now let's take a look at this stock called Interactive Brokers. The stock traded sideways and then it started to move down. Alright, it moved down and had a sell-off, and then it had a bottoming tail here. And guess what happened after the bottoming tail? The stock moved up. So like I said earlier, the bottoming tail, the presence of a bottoming tail can actually mark the end of a downtrend. And after the presence of the bottoming tail, in around end of November, the stock started to move up. And the move is not a small move. You can see that it moved up from about 70 over to 100. So that's how powerful the bottoming tail is. Now, the presence of a bottoming tail at the end of a downtrend is very, very powerful, as it can signal the end of the downtrend and the beginning of a new uptrend. Downtrend ends and a new uptrend begins. Now, what if you have 3 bottoming tails in a chart? Now let's take a look at the chart of Interactive Brokers. This is the daily chart updated. Just now you saw the chart until about here, but ever since March it has gone up higher. We have this stock trading sideways, move down, and then the presence of a bottoming tail in the daily chart, and then after that it moved up. And look how powerful the move up in the stock actually went up higher. So never ever ignore bottoming tail. Okay, this is a bottoming tail. The stock sold off, but by the end of the day it went back up. It's a powerful reminder to us how powerful the bottoming tail can be. Now, where do we get 3 bottoming tails? Now here's the special thing. If you do multiple time frame analysis, that means if you look at other time frames, this is a D, which means day, 1 day. 1 candle represents 1 day. But if you only look at the daily candle, you might miss out on a lot. So if you go to the weekly candles, you can actually see that there was a bottoming tail here. So about November 23, let's go back to the daily chart. Yep, in November 2023, this is the daily chart, and this is the weekly chart. So daily chart has a bottoming tail, and weekly chart has a bottoming tail here, right? And then you can see how powerful the move up. Now, where is the third bottoming tail? Let's go to the hourly chart, and let's look for November. Let's go to November. Alright, this is November of 2023. Can you see a large bottoming tail here? This bottoming tail here, large bottoming tail here in the hourly chart. So when you see 3 bottoming tails in the bottoming tail in the daily chart, a bottoming tail in the weekly chart, and a bottoming tail in the hourly chart, is really powerful. Alright, let's do a recap of what we have gone through. So here we have the daily chart of Interactive Brokers. This is a daily chart with a daily bottoming tail here, and if you look at the date, it is at the end of November 2023, here December before 2024. So we have a decline and a daily bottoming tail. The next thing is look at the date near 2024. This is a weekly chart of IBKR. What do you see? A bottoming tail. So we have now daily bottoming tail, weekly bottoming tail, and that is why the stock moves higher. Alright, I wonder if you can see some other bottoming tails here. Can you spot other weekly bottoming tails in this chart? Yes, we have one here, and you can see after that the stock rise. Not bad, isn't it? Do you see any other bottoming tails? Yes, here is one. Well, actually the stock decline, form a double bottom pattern with the second bottom made by a weekly bottoming tail, and look the significant rise of the stock. Now, we haven't even gone into market structure, trends, support, resistance, but with the presence of this bottoming tail, it is already so powerful, and actually you have enough knowledge to take a trade in this stock. And let's now look at the hourly chart of IBKR. Just look at the date. It is near December, it's end of November. So daily chart, we have a bottoming tail. Weekly chart, we have a bottoming tail. And hourly chart of IBKR, we have a bottoming tail. So when you see 3 bottoming tails in the stock, it's a powerful reminder to us that the stock wants to bottom and most likely to move up. Alright, what can we learn from this lecture? What are the lessons that I want you to take away from this lecture? Well, the presence of a bottoming tail is a powerful signal that the stock wants to move up. Now, when you look at the weekly chart, daily chart, and hourly chart, you are doing multiple time frame analysis. I've taught you a simple way to do multiple time frame analysis. Just look at bottoming tails in different time frames, in daily, in weekly, and hourly. When you look at multiple time frame, it increases your odds of success. Yes, because you're not only looking at a small picture, you're actually looking at a big picture. When you see a bottoming tail in 3 time frames, it is a powerful signal that the stock wants to bottom. So how can you take advantage of this knowledge and turn it into money? That is the most interesting question which we should answer. Now, I'm going to introduce to you a simple trading strategy, or what we call a setup. One thing to remember is never enter a market without trading strategy or a setup. This is our structure of the bottoming tail. Here we have the highs and then we have the lows. Since it's green, it means the stock opened here, traded lower, and then closed higher. Number 1, make sure there is a bottoming tail in the weekly, daily, and 60-minute chart. Alright, if you see 3 bottoming tails, it's a powerful setup. Alright. Secondly, look at the weekly chart and spot the weekly bottoming tail. Is there a bottoming tail in the weekly chart? Look at the highs, look at the lows. Now, buy the stock when it trades above the highs of the weekly bottoming tail. You can buy it if it trades 10 or 20 cents above the highs of the bottoming tail. Let's say the highs is $25. You can buy it when it trades above $25.20. It depends. Some people can just buy it the moment it trades above 25. And then you put a stop loss below the lows of the weekly bottoming tail. Let's say the lows is 22. Just put a stop loss at 21.90 or 21.80. So the low is 22. You can adjust and put your stop loss below it. If you're a bit more conservative, you can maybe put it at $21.75. Alright, just slightly below the low of the weekly bottoming tail. Now let's take a look at what happened in the weekly chart of the stock that we saw, Interactive Brokers. Here we have a nice bottoming tail. It's red in color. That means it's opened higher, traded down, but closed here with a large tail that signals bullishness, and you can see how far the stock rose. Now, buy above the highs of the bottoming tail. That means when the next bar trades above the highs here, you buy the stock. Then you put a stop loss below the lows of the bottoming tail. This is the low, put a stop loss around here, and write this stock higher. So I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson, this lecture. If you've learned something and it's helpful, please smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next lecture.